Hello everybody, thanks for joining me. It's Renee Lynch here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. And on a Thursday at midday, I do a Facebook Live. So welcome today. I'm just going to quickly log onto my computer and make sure that this video is nice and live. How are you all today? It's nearly the end of the week again. Aren't these months just flying by? It's April and it's mid-April. I can't believe it. It's just gone so quickly. And my little girl is 3 months old. I don't think I've slept for 3 months. But it's still, some days it went really slowly and other days it seemed to just fly by. So thanks for joining me. If you're watching the replay, thanks for joining me a little bit later. I know it's not the time doesn't suit everybody, but it's a time when my baby is asleep, so it suits me. And I know you can all catch up on the replay. So I've just logged on and it seems to be working. I'll just make sure. I'll just make sure it's working. And it's working. Okay, so today I have so many exciting things to share with you. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. It's so exciting. So we went to Sydney on the weekend to Stampin' Up's, I guess it's their conference, and we saw so many new and amazing things, and I'm so excited. So I can't show you everything just yet. I'm going to pace myself and I'm going to pace you so that you don't get overwhelmed, because it's very overwhelming. There's lots happening. So first things first, these are my swaps and these are the cards I'm going to demonstrate this card today. I did a variation of my swap and I like to mix things up a little bit. I did 30 of these, so I'm a little bit sick of doing them, so I changed it up. But first of all, I want to talk to you about Stampin' Up's retiring list. Look at this list. Look at how long it is. Now, don't be sad that things are retiring, because trust me, there is so many beautiful, amazing things coming. And once the new catalog's released, you're not going to even remember these things, because the new things are so beautiful. But one thing I wanted to say was all the accessories and so ribbons and ink and things like that, they are while stocks last. So just be aware that if you want ink refills or if you want to buy new ink pads, you need to do it as soon as possible, because once they're gone, they're gone. Now, there is a few details, and I'll go through them a little bit later on. The stamp sets are guaranteed until early May. I'm not 100% sure on the date, but I will put it in my blog post. And that's really good, because they're not going to all sell out quickly. But you might be wondering, if you looked through this list, there is all our inks. All the inks are in there, and you might be thinking, oh my god, what is Stampin' Up! Doing? Look at this. It's all ink and paper, and more ink and more ink. So why are all the inks and all the stamp pads on the retirement list? Well, the reason being that Stampin' Up! Have designed and implemented a new, I've just lost my piece of paper, I'll just find it, a new stamp pad, new ink pad. And this ink pad is going to be so much better than the old. It's a lot easier to open, and they've put a, what's it called? Oh, it's just left my mind. A defoamer in it. So you know, sometimes when you use that ink pads, they used to get bubbles on it and that would affect your stamped image. Well, they're fixing that, and in with that they're putting a whole new ink pad. Mine are on order. They're not quite here yet, so I can't show you yet, but I'll be able to show you next week. And with those new ink pads is a colour revamp. So that's a complete restructure of the Stampin' Up! Colours. And it's a bit sad that some of our favourites are leaving, and I'm going to be using some of them today. But it's so exciting because we are getting new ink, or new colours. And who doesn't love playing with new colours? So they've updated the colours, and there's a few that are retiring. So the retiring colours are Always Artichoke, Chocolate Chip, Elegant Eggplant, Island Indigo, Marina Mist, Perfect Plum, Pink Pirouette, Rose Red, which is one of my favourites. It's what we're using today. Soft Sky, Tangerine Tango, Tempting Turquoise, Wild Wasabi, and Wisteria Wonder. Now, in with that is also the retiring in colours, so 2016 and 2018 retiring in colours, and that's Dapper Denim, Emerald Envy, Flirty Flamingo, Peekaboo Peach, and Sweet Sugar Plum. But in saying that, Flirty Flamingo is coming back as one of our new core colours. Now, I'm going to have more information on this later on. There's too much to show you today, and I don't want to spend all day talking about ink pads. But be aware that on the retired list, the ink pads, the individual ink pads and the individual refills are guaranteed to be supplied until May 7. Everything else in inks is retiring, and once it's while stocks last. Okay, so that's just a little bit on the colours. Then the next thing is I want to talk about my classes. So I'm running a Mother's Day class on April the 29th, and I'm going to be showing you those cards that we will be making next week. Now, if you don't want to do Mother's Day cards, they can be adapted into birthday cards, so just keep that in mind. And RSVP is Thursday the 26th. One more thing before I get into it is this beautiful new bundle that is going to be released early. So for you as a customer, you can get your hands on this bundle on the 1st of May. And it's so super exciting. So it's called Share What You Love Suite, and Stampin' Up! Are 30 years old this year. So they're celebrating by releasing this suite. And in it, you can get these bundles. And they're all a little bit different. There's two beautiful new stamp pads, sorry. You can see the stamp pad there. And this is the lettering one. And this is the Gotta Have It All bundle, if you just love it and you gotta have it all, which is what I got. And the new in color ink pads. So that's really exciting, and I will tell you more about that a little bit later on. Once I receive my products, I will make some samples, and I will show you those samples. Okay, so let's get into something a little bit more exciting. So what I'm going to share with you today is the swaps that I received at On Stage in Sydney. So I made 25 swaps, and I swapped them with all the lovely ladies that were on stage. So I've got a bag full. And there's some 3Ds and there's some cards. So I'm just going to pull them all out so that I can show you. So look at these 3D swaps. Aren't they adorable? Look at this little apron of love, and that's carrying over. And some beautiful little lint balls. This is from my team leader upline, Tania Williams. Isn't it so pretty? And then there's this little treat box, which my upline Marie made. And inside is some little chocolates and things. Mentos is inside. Isn't that super cute? So then this is another one I got, which is a tissue holder, a little box with a daisy. Isn't it beautiful? And this little box is a, it's got no adhesive to hold the box together, and I think it's super cute. So it just opens like this. It's got a little Tim Tam in there. How easy is that? These ladies are so talented. I was just blown away. Here's another 3D item. So it's a little lollipop holder. That would be really cute for kids' parties. This one is from the beautiful Kylie Bertucci, and it's a card kit. She made the kit. She didn't make a card, just sort of make your own, I guess. I'm just going to put these all back in the bag because otherwise I am going to have them all over my desk and I'm not going to be able to make a card with you. Okay, now I'm right. So then there's this beautiful little book holder. Bookmark it is, sorry. Isn't that cute? Here's another little 3D item. And this one just pops open like this. And look, there's a little lip balm inside it. How cool. Some people are so generous. So that's that. And then there's this beautiful card. This is made by Louise Sharp, one of our last year's artisan design team members. Super beautiful. I love that. So clean and simple. And then there's, oops, this beautiful card. Oh, and that deck chair. And look at the background. It's made with shaving cream, the shaving cream technique. I'll have to do that one soon and show you all. This beautiful card is from Kylie Bertucci as well. It's a special little card for me. I love these little hearts. This one's going to apply to me very soon, maybe 12 months time. But look who's turning 30, so Stampin' Up! Are 30. So the company was designed before I was even born. But I love those colours. These little hearts from the heart. Isn't that beautiful? Some people are so creative. And then look at this beautiful butterfly. And then there's so many, so much fun swapping and sharing. Look at this gorgeous mail card. And this is using the Ribbon of Courage for breast cancer awareness. Oh, and this is from Cheryl Algie, and I've taken it out, but it had a really cute little key ring on it, and I put it on my scissors. I should have kept it and showed you. But yeah, she's very clever. And look at that. Oh, I love that. It is so simple yet so effective. Love it, love it, love it. The daisy punch. Everybody loves the daisy punch. She's embossed that, so it's actually 3-dimensional. And the little dragon. I wonder how many this lady did, because she would have had to colour all those dragons. It would have taken her forever. She did 30 like me. I love this set. You know, I didn't really like it, but now after seeing it, I love it. I love, yeah, once I've seen it stamped, I just absolutely adore it. This is the Bubble and Fizz. And this beautiful butterfly just for you. And we'll finish with another little 3D item. And it's got a little Hershey's cookies and cream bar in it. How cute is that? And I love this designer series paper with a pop of gold. It's really cute. Alright, so that is the swaps that I received while I was on stage. The next thing I want to show you is what we received just for going to on stage. So we got this beautiful Stampin' Up! Bag, and I can't get it all in the camera, but what it is it actually is reversible. I'll just reverse it. Oh, hey, guess what I just found? I found the keyring that Cheryl made me. It was in the pocket on the inside. And look, that's the reverse. Isn't that beautiful? So we got that beautiful bag, and I'll just show you quickly. This is the keyring that Cheryl Algie made me. Isn't that gorgeous? So she used Shrinky Dinks for that. I don't really know how to do that, but I'm going to have to learn because it's so beautiful. So in our bag, we got this beautiful stamp set. And it's got a little kangaroo with a koala. See that? So that's for us Australian demonstrators. Really cute. It's called Animal Outing. And then we all got a prize patrol. So we all get a coloured button, and you get, you know, they draw prizes and you get whatever colour your button is. And this Artisan Textures is what I won. And I can't wait to play with that. It's sort of like Gorgeous Grunge, and it retired. Then we got another all attendee giveaway, and it was this beautiful Pick a Pennant stamp set. Look at that little birdie. Isn't he so cute? I can't wait to play with that. And then at the end of the day, we all get to pick out of our supply box. And this year, finally, it was the youngest person on the table gets to pick first. And I had Ellie with me, so I felt like even if I wasn't the youngest, that she was the youngest and she was at the table. But anyway, luckily I was the youngest, so I got to choose first, and I got this beautiful stamp set. The name is very American. It's called Rooted in Nature. Not very Australian, I guess. The Americans do speak differently to us, but it's super sweet, and it's got all these gorgeous trees. We all had a giggle about the name. And Sarah, the CEO of Stampin' Up, was a bit shocked at what it meant in Australia. But anyway, it's just a bit of fun. But anyway, we played with this at On Stage, and I was lucky enough to get the set. So I'm going to be playing with that. And, you know, I'm going to have some sneak peeks coming up for you. So they're the stamp sets we got. Look, I got 4 stamp sets, but one of them was a double. How good is that? It's definitely worth going to On Stage. And we also got some ribbon. Well, I got, and these beautiful little pearls. They're new. And these gorgeous, they're pearl doilies. I don't know if you can see the sheen. So the 30-year anniversary is pearl, the stone. And, yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous. So the other thing we got was, and there's more, this beautiful book, this beautiful diary, Stampin' Up! Diary. And lastly, we got this, and this is I didn't put it together, but it's a photo, a light box, and you can make, there's all these little letters and things, so you can write what you like inside it. How cute is that? So that will be going on my stamp desk very soon. And finally, I want to share with you a little gift I gave to my team members, and that was this I don't have all the gifts here, but it was this little notepad that I made. So I made this little bit at the top, do something creative every day, and they all received, well, the ones that came to On Stage received that from me as a little gift for saying thank you. Okay. So there's so much more excitement about what's retiring and the new things that are coming. However, I'm going to go into more detail about that later. I don't want to talk all day. I know you want to see some card making. So I'm going to get these cards out and start making some cards with you. Okay, so this was a swap I did for On Stage, and I made 30 of these. And then I knew I wanted to show you the swaps that I made for On Stage, but I didn't really want to make that one again. I have made 30 of these. So I thought, why don't I show you an alternative using retiring stamp sets and retiring colour. So let me just grab the stamp set. The stamp set I picked is called Hello Friend. And I used this the other day in one of my videos, but I don't know, it's just on my desk and I'm loving it at the moment. And it will be retiring. So if you want this stamp set, if you love it, you need to order it now before it's gone. If you place an order in April and you use this hostess code, you will get an extra gift from me. So just keep that in mind. It's also on my blog and on my Facebook page. If you want extra freebies, use the hostess code. If your order's over $250, you can keep the hostess rewards for yourself, and I'll still send you a gift. So just remember, if your order's over $250, don't put in the hostess code, because then you can get the rewards for yourself. So I'm going to be making this card, and to start with, we're going to be doing some stamping. So I'll just move this over here out of the way. Okay, so these are all my elements that I need, and we're going to be stamping on the Whisper White piece. I've got to remember how I did this now. So we're using the colour Rose Red, and it is retiring. So if you love this colour like me, you need to buy the ink pad and the refill and the paper right now before it is gone. And then we're going to be using these little flowers from the Hello Friends stamp set. And actually, before I start stamping, this is how I did it. I forgot. I'm getting a bit carried away talking. I cut out the circle first, and I'll tell you why in a second. So we'll get the Big Shot over here. And the die. So the die for this is called Stitched Shapes Framelits, and I'm using the second largest die, circle die. Comes with squares, ovals and round, and I'm just going to cut that out. If I can find, here it is, my other plate. So I'll just run that through the Big Shot. Move that out of the way. So this gives you that beautiful little stitching around the circle, and I love that detail. It's very cute. So the reason we cut that out first, let me get my ink pad ready again, is because what I like to do is position it roughly where it's going to be. And for me, making 30 of these, every card was different. There was no way I could do them all the same. And then this one is a line of little flowers. So I ink that up, and then I work out, I want sort of a few flowers up there, and put my little circle back where I want it, and I want a few up here, and then a few down here. Now you can always come back if you need more, okay? You can't take them away, but you can always add more. Just remember that. Now you've got to also remember that the sentiment is, let me just move this over, because I know when there's comments you can't see it there. The sentiment takes up some of those flowers as well. So this is my piece of card for the sentiment. So sometimes it's best to see that, and you can actually see how much you're seeing behind that. And then I'll just come in with the larger flowers, and I know I'm not seeing a lot there. And I don't see when I put the circle over that, I don't see this little flower, so it doesn't matter if I go over the top of it, because you don't really see it. You don't really see that either, so I'm just going to come in again, just protrude out a little bit. Now don't worry that they cross over, see that? Because you won't see it because it's behind your circle, which is why it's important to have your circle and to see where your circle is going to sit. Because you can cover it up with the circle. Okay, so there you go, and that's sort of what I did, and look how messy it looks without the circle. And then I came in with the leaves. So this is using Lemon Lime Twist, which is one of the 2019 in colours. It's not the new in colour anymore. and I just added some leaves. Now every card is going to be different wherever you add the leaves. And I had, where did it go? A piece of paper. Oh no, that's alright. It doesn't matter if it gets on the back one. Now, sometimes you want to bring in your circle again. See how much of this you're actually seeing. Remembering that your sentiment's going to be there as well. Oh, the sun's gone away. Just going to turn the light on. I had such good light in this near the window that I didn't bring my lamp because I thought it would be fine. I hope that's still bright enough for you to see. Hello, anybody who's just joining in. Hello, if you're watching the replay, thanks for joining me. We're just making this cute little card. We're about halfway. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Could possibly have another leaf over here, but remembering that most of that is going to be covered up by the sentiment. Yeah, so you can hardly even see it. I'm just going to bring it up a bit higher so that you will see it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Just one more. You can go overboard, so restrain. Less is more. And the sentiment in this set that I'm using is thank you for being you. I love that. I think it's super cute. Because this day and age, we're all trying to be somebody we're not. But it's important to just be you. Be who you are. So I'm using the Memento black ink. This is my favorite ink. And I'm just going to straighten this up. It's a bit wonky on the block. So I've cut my piece of paper extra long. Oh, well, that is not straight at all, Renee. But you know what? That's why there's two sides to every piece of paper. Oh, much better. Two sides to every piece of paper. Plus, if you really stuff it up, it doesn't matter because it's handmade, and it being handmade, it means that it's made with love. So to make the little V in the end, I cut in the center first, and I'm just eyeballing it. And then I cut in from each corner. And hopefully it's straight. Which I think it is. Pretty straight. Well, the sentiment's not totally straight, but hey, it's handmade. And then I'm just going to snip it off. Like that. And then I'm going to clean that off. Put away my ink pad before it goes everywhere. And then we're going to do the ribbon. Now, on the original card, this card here, I used this Lemon Lime Twist mini striped ribbon. And you can use that, but because these images are quite light and these images are quite bold, I thought just the straight, and this one is called Finely Woven Ribbon, and it is retiring. They're both retiring, actually. So if you love these ribbons, jump on and get them now before they're gone, because that is while stocks last. Okay, so I've showed you this before. I think I've showed you this before. How to get this ruffle. This ruffle, I'll show you close up. This ruffle of ribbon. So there's two things I do. Firstly, I use tear and tape because it's very strong. And I find it really holds the ribbon. And then I want about 15 centimeters. So about 3 times the length the length of the sentiment, you want about 3 times the amount of ribbon. And then we're putting some tear and tape on the back of the ribbon, and you'll see why in a minute. Why do I need it on both sides? You will see why. So up one end, and I'm just eyeballing the size because I like to keep my ribbon on the spool. And then that way, if I need more, I can get more. So you've got double-sided tape on the back. Whoops, don't stick it to the table. The back of your sentiment. And double-sided tape on the back of the ribbon, okay? I'm gonna cut it off because it's too difficult. I'm struggling. Both my babies were up last night. And so, yeah, I'm a little tired. Not really working very properly. So then I leave a bit of overhang and I'm gonna stick. So the double-sided tape is, sorry, I was out of camera. It was on the top of the ribbon. I was holding it close so I could see it. And we want it towards the top. So the part that's going to be closest to the sentiment, not the bottom part of the ribbon. And then we just stick it on. So it's sticking to the back of the sentiment. And then we're going to fold it back on itself. And because you've got tape, can you see? Because you've got tape on the back of the ribbon, it sticks to itself really well. Now, I'm showing you the back because then you can see how I'm doing it. But I like to look at the front when I'm doing it because that's the part you're going to see, and you can adjust it. Adjust it by looking at the back. Hi Marie, thanks for joining me. And then you just cut it off. Get rid of that extra ribbon. Now, if you don't like a ruffle for some reason, like that first one I didn't like, you can just pull it off and do it again. Because that you're using that double-sided tape, it is really sticky, as you can tell, because it's sticking to my fingers. There you go. Now each one's going to be a little bit different. And I quite like that. I kind of like that it's all a bit different. So then, on the back, because the ribbon is there, I use dimensionals because it's not going to sit flat. Because the ribbon is there. And then towards the end, I'm actually using two dimensionals. Because I'll tell you why in a second. And one on the ribbon, so it's a bit higher. So then we're going to use dimensionals on the circle. Make sure you get the back of the circle, not the front. There is a front and a back. So the back has this rough sort of looking edge, and the front has a beautiful smooth edge. So just make sure you're putting it on the right way. And we'll take those dimensionals off, and we're positioning it here where you want it, roughly. So the reason that we put a double dimensional there is because this is on dimensionals. So these two dimensionals that are going to be on the circle are actually double, I guess. And I just put one above the ribbon because the ribbon's already popped up a little bit, if that makes sense. And then work out where you want your sentiment. Remembering to cover up any of your mistakes. And that ribbon's just a bit long, so I'm just going to trim it. Okay, so that's where we're up to. Finally, we want to get a piece of scrap paper, and we want to, I'm just going to leave that there, stamp the flowers again in rose red. So on the first card I did 2 big and 2 little. And I'll show you what I did in a second. So 2 big. Then I came back in with the little and I put it really close. so that they're touching, so that I could cut them out. And everyone is going to be different. Okay? Because every time you do it, it's going to be different. And the other thing you can do is come back, just do half in, half off. And just touch, so that, oh, look, I just ruined that one. I just got ink everywhere, see that? But I think I can probably nearly cut it all out. So what I'm going to be doing is cutting around this image, and they're all going to be different, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So if you don't like fussy cutting, this is not a job for you. Before I start cutting, I'm just going to stamp the leaves. And I just stamped 3 leaves that I'm going to cut out separately. So I'll just use that blank space there. If you don't like fussy cutting, this isn't for you. I love it. So I always like to cut them into a smaller piece before I start cutting. And I like to... Thanks, Marie. I thought you might have been in your lunch. That's why I do it at 12 o'clock, because I figure some people will be having a lunch break. So you want to leave about a 3 mil gap from where you're cutting. I find if you try and cut right on the line, you just can't get it perfect enough. And it just sort of looks messy. So I'm going to cut that off. So if you give yourself a good gap, if you make a few mistakes, just making sure you can see that. I always forget that you're watching me. I'm too busy crafting, which is what I love. Yeah, that way, if you make a mistake, it's not as visible. If you try and cut right on the line, it's very difficult. Very difficult. So I like to be very fussy and come right in here. You don't have to. You can leave that bit of white space, it's up to you. Oops, I'm going to come right in here. Probably should have prepared these earlier for you so you didn't have to sit and watch me fussy cut. The haters will be hating. Hate fussy cutting. Some of my girls swear at me when I do this in classes. They hate cutting things out. I'll do this one super quick so that I'm not taking forever. I'm not wasting your lunch break. See this little mistake I made? I'm just going to come in here nice and tight and just take that out, and you'll hardly even notice. And see, I'm moving the paper. I'm not really moving my scissors. I'm moving the paper more than anything. Sort of driving the paper through the scissors. Okay. So they're the flowers. Now you see they're going to be very different from the original one, and that's okay because you can always add and take away flowers. I think it's going to work quite well actually. So I want it to look as natural as possible, so sort of like the flowers are growing on the tree. And then when I like the way I've got it, I'm going to use a little bit of snail. I'm just going to put a bit of snail down here. Position that. And then for this one, I'm actually going to use these little mini dimensionals. My favourite. Now just be aware that some of this is going to overlap the other. So you want to be careful where you put your dimensionals, because you can put them sort of in your own way. And then once you've got it placed, I'm just going to put another dimensional underneath. So see that? Just pops it up, makes it look real. And then we get some leaves. Super quickly cut these out. If you don't like fussy cutting, you could use a stamp set that has dies that will cut these flowers out for you, so that you don't have to cut them out yourself. It's a bit windy here today. Having the most gorgeous autumn weather. Has not got cold yet. If you notice, I'm wearing short sleeves. It's so beautiful. I'm not looking forward to winter. All right, so I want to few back a bit to like behind the flowers to give some dimension, as if the flowers are popping out of the branches. And then one I'm going to put on dimensionals, because you know, leaves and flowers, they're all different on a tree, they're not all the same. And then this little one I'm just going to tuck in behind here. And there you go. Very cute, right? Okay, so we're nearly there. So I'm going to get my rose red base, card base. Now this is an A4 sheet cut in half long ways. So it ends up being, once it's folded in half, it's 10.5 centimeters by 14.9 centimeters. So I just cut a A4 sheet in half at 10.5 centimeters long ways, and that will give you the right dimensions. And then we stick this onto the base. Like that. And to finish it off, I'm going to use these adhesive back sequins, and these are the lemon lime twist colour. Just pick them up with my paper piercer. And I like to do 3 things in 3s, like odd numbers. So I always use 3. I'll be a bit random with it. And then that's the card, done. Now, the other thing you could do is, and I didn't do this on the original card, but I thought I'd do it now, is use the clear Wink of Stella to add a bit of bling. So you can just add a bit of bling to your flowers. Oh, that's my daughter, she's awake. You need to be really careful, because this is a water-based ink, the Wink of Stella will make it run. So I'm just dabbing it onto the colour, not sort of colouring it in, I guess. That way your colour won't run. So I'm just going to put it on a few flowers, not every flower. My baby usually goes back to sleep. She's just had one sleep. She usually goes down for a second, but we'll see. So you can see, I don't know if you can see in the light, that it's now shimmering beautifully. And then we were going to do the inside, but because my baby's awake, I'm just going to show you the inside instead of actually doing it, because I don't want to leave her screaming. So that's what I did for the inside. So the Hello Friend is in this set. They're 2 separate stamps. And I did the same thing with the flowers, and these ones I cut out. And then I put a piece of the ribbon across the bottom. So this is just a really sweet thinking of you friend, or thank you gift for someone who's done something lovely for you recently. And I think a little bit of random act of kindness is really important in the world we live in at the moment. So this is the original card, and this is my version of it. You can see all the details, all the measurements. They'll be on my blog later on today. And thank you for stamping with me, and have a great Thursday and have a great rest of the week. And I'll see you next Thursday at 12 o'clock with more exciting new releases and new products. So I'll see you then.